All right, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing these 5 important points. We're going to be starting off by understanding what exactly is the Adobe Artificial Intelligence ecosystem. This will just make you clear how it's related to the different software, including Photoshop. Now, the second point is going to be a question that I get a lot from my students. Kush, is AI killing photography? I'm going to be very quick about most of these points, okay? About the legality issues, because this is also important. This is the hot discussion these days about the legal issues that come when you are using anything to do with AI, not just editing. So I'm going to be talking about that. What is the future of AI here? I'm going to be showing you some really mind-blowing things, okay? And finally, this is actually going to be a very short video. This is going to be the next video where I'll be telling you how to get access to, right now, Photoshop beta, which has most of these features, okay? So let's get started. All right, so right now I've just logged on to adobe.com, which is the website obviously, and here you can see that we've got something on the menu, and we'll often be interested in creativity and design. If I just open this menu up, now here you'll start to understand things. Now, Adobe's AI system, okay, it's mainly called as Adobe Sensei. Okay, so where is that featuring? You can't see that anywhere here, but that's actually under this menu, marketing and e-commerce. So if you see here under artificial intelligence, there's something called as Sensei. Okay, so every company these days, they have their own machine learning algorithms. Any company that is going into AI, right? So this algorithm, this whole framework developed by Adobe is called Adobe Sensei. And this is not only used for Photoshop, as you can see here, okay? What a lot of people don't know is they obviously associate Adobe with Photoshop and Creative Cloud apps because those are the flagship products. But Adobe is a full-fledged software company, okay? And they also are a big player when it comes to providing products and solutions to software companies, okay? And that's also where Sensei is used, okay? So AI is used for those products and solutions also. We are obviously interested in the creativity part. So how does Sensei help us there? So do you see on the Sensei, there's something called as Sensei Gen AI. This stands for Generative AI. This is like a subset of the whole machine learning algorithm that Adobe has, the whole AI system that Adobe has. So within that, a small part of Sensei is generative AI. Now this can do a lot of things even for businesses, okay, for that part of Adobe. But as far as creativity and design is concerned, this is the biggest tool. Okay, so AI can do a lot of things, but we are interested in generative AI aspect, which Adobe has to offer. As the name suggests, generative usually, it comes from the word generate. So that means it's going to generate something, and that should immediately put your mind to something that we just did with this picture, right? Remember, I just did something and I wrote something and it generated it. What you're seeing here is Adobe Sensei at work, not just Adobe Sensei. Which exact part of Adobe Sensei? The Adobe Sensei Generative AI, that aspect of AI tools that you're actually seeing in work here. Now, here's the thing, okay? If we go back to the website, a lot of these software, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and all these tools, they use the Generative AI feature, okay? But they are still not the #1 app or the main focus of Adobe right now when it comes to using AI. It's actually this, a very new app that Adobe is coming up, which is called Adobe Firefly. And I'll just quickly tell you what is the relationship between Firefly and Photoshop. But first of all, if I just open this in a new tab, what exactly is Firefly? Firefly is all about generative AI, okay? It's not 100% photo editing. What they're doing here is, like, you can see some examples here. It's basically a prompt-based software that they're developing, that you can literally type anything and it's simply going to generate, okay? So you can see here it can generate art, it can do something to your photos. Can you see generative fill? I'll just come back to this in a while because you saw this before, right? This is just one aspect of Adobe Firefly, okay? But I'll talk about this later. But you can also create text effects. You can also do things like 3D to image. Now this software hasn't been fully released, but this is not a competitor to Photoshop, okay? This is a competitor to other companies' AI text prompt based softwares, like, I'm sure you must have heard of softwares like Midjourney, okay, where you write something and it can produce art, photos, text, anything. Stable diffusion. Dolly, right? So all these softwares that other AI companies are coming up with, the answer to that for Adobe lies in coming up with Adobe Firefly. It's not been fully released yet. It's still in the beta stages. You can't even download this right now. You have to actually access this through something called as Discord. You don't really have to worry. What we have to worry about here is that from Firefly that Adobe is working on, just a little feature of that has been incorporated into Photoshop. Because Adobe thought this particular feature, out of all the other features, relates most to photo editing. So remember I showed you generative fill, where that pond came up, the sky came up. This actually comes from Firefly. This is why if you're watching any of the YouTube videos, a lot of people actually, when they're using this particular software, they keep referring to this as, wow, Firefly did such an amazing job. So a lot of people get confused, like what is Firefly? What they're saying is, yeah, generative fill is the correct term, but a lot of people say Firefly because generative fill is coming from Firefly, which is also an Adobe product, and that has been incorporated into Photoshop, okay? Now here's the thing. Generative fill is still just one part of generative AI. So generative fill is again a subset of generative AI. Generative AI has also a lot of other tools, which, like I showed you, have been mostly incorporated in Firefly, but they also have been incorporated inside Photoshop, and a lot of people don't even know where these tools are, and that's where this course comes into play. Because I'm going to be showing you all those tools along with generative fill, which are AI based. Okay, so they actually come from Sensei, within a subset, generative AI, and then generative AI is over 15 to 20 tools in Photoshop, and they all absolutely work in an amazing manner. I'm going to be showing you all those with example images in this course. All right, let's quickly move on to the next point, which was, is AI killing photography? Absolutely not. You don't really have to worry. Your clients still need professional looking shots. AI still is not capable of generating that. I have been experimenting with it a lot, and trust me, professional shots still stand out. Okay, there's no way to just manipulate them from AI, and it's not happening anytime soon. It's not that advanced right now. Okay, and there are a lot of issues with AI when it comes to legality, which I'm just going to be talking about, which can actually in the future even restrict the capability of AI. All I'm saying is it's a great tool to take your editing and post-processing to the next level, but you really don't have to worry about, as a photographer, you don't have to worry about, is it killing photography? Not at all. It's just an aid to take your photography to the next level, especially your editing and post-processing. Let me give you a quick example of it. For example, here I had this image of this girl, and I wanted to remove each person from this, and just see this. Within a very short amount of time, okay, like under 15 minutes, I was able to do this, go from this to this, and that is thanks mainly to the AI tools, and I'm going to be showing you things like this in this course. Okay, so that just takes your editing to the next level, makes it really fast, because something like this without AI will easily take you 4 to 5 hours. Okay, so again, it's just something that aids your progress. Now, coming to the legal issues, that's one of the best part about learning AI from Photoshop, which is an Adobe-based product, and Adobe have been very vocal about this, that their particular AI algorithm doesn't really cause any legal issues, because most of the sample data that is actually processing on the cloud is from the Adobe stock images, and obviously Adobe owns them. So Adobe has a separate business called Adobe Stock, where they sell stock images. Okay, so they are well within their rights to use these images to train the AI model, which is always getting better. So let me just quickly show you an example. If in this image, if I was to just kind of create like a selection here, okay, and just type in Batman. Now, Batman is a copyright, right? It's like trademark for the DC company, for example. So Adobe obviously cannot use that. So if I do something like this and it finally generates something, it's never going to be the actual Batman, because that can now produce legal issues for Adobe. Okay, so just see what this leads to. So can you see, it's like, yeah, it's going to be something random. Maybe it's even going to try to actually create a man who looks like Bat and all, but it's not going to be Batman. But a lot of other AI software out there, okay, they can soon run into legal issues because they don't have this. For those software, okay, if you actually type Batman, it gives you like the real Batman. Okay, so that way we are pretty safe with Adobe. So we can probably even use these images commercially, though that is still something that is being debated upon. I will probably give you an update on that later on. Okay, and the final question, okay, like, are you investing in the correct software given that there are so many different types of AI software out there, editing software? Is this the future? You can rest assured it is. And let me just show you, I'm not just saying this for saying sake, okay? Let me actually show you something mind-blowing. So right now I'm on Yahoo Finance, okay? So which I use, like if I love a company a lot, I even track their financials just to see how they're doing and all. So Adobe obviously is a public company, so I keep, I do follow them a lot. And if I just show you the financials of Adobe, okay, you're going to find something really, really amazing. Now, can you see, their cost of revenue, that means like, how much are they spending? What are their expenses? Really went up from 2021 to 2022, okay? This has gone mainly towards AI because I read a lot about what they're doing and all. This expenditure, sudden jump in expenditure is because of AI. So they've literally put in like millions and millions of dollars into this. Okay, and you can see this is also a company which is doing so well. Their revenues are like literally $17 billion and they're healthy also because you can see that their profits are also positive. Okay, so they're literally generating a profit of 4 billion. And even if I was to quickly show you their cash flow, you'll actually see that when it comes to investing, okay, that means how much money are they putting into their own development. You can see that they're putting in a lot of money. Can you see? Suddenly there's a big jump in 2021. Where do you think all this money went? This, my friends, is definitely going into the development of AI because AI is the future. So I hope I was really able to answer some of your questions very well. If you've got just one short video coming up, which is going to be the next video, where I'll just show you how to access Photoshop beta so that you can easily get your hands on these tools. I'll do that in the next video. Bye for now.